Welcome back to Crafting Tuesdays with Ashley. I am here and this is our, fourth, fifth crafting live together. So excited about today because we are doing something a lot of fun, but I have to tell you, I'm just going to be real honest with you, okay? I withheld doing lives for so many years because tech issues are like the worst for me. They're absolutely the worst. And the first live crafting that we did together, we had a tech issue. Then the second and third one, no tech issues. I'm like, great. I think the good Lord is testing my ability to figure things out on the fly because today we have a tech issue. My Stream Deck that I normally like toggle in between different screens, like this one right here that I'm talking to you on, and my computer, and then also the one that's like right here for my desk, it doesn't work. Good morning, Missy. Or afternoon. So today is going to be a little interesting because I'm going to have to do it all manually myself. And trust me when I tell you that I already have a text message out to my friend Tanner, I was like, you know what, I need a different Stream Deck because mine's not working. And I had a choice, and the choice was to either show up and craft or blame another tech issue. And I'm here going to show up and craft. So today is going to be we're going to work through some tech, but we are going to get a craft done. Hell or high water, we are going to get a craft done. So today what we are going to do is we are going to create the cutest gumball Valentine's Day thing. I have them in two different options. I originally cut it out in the ivory cardstock that I offer in my cardstock warehouse, and I wasn't like 100% fan of the ivory with this. So then I did it on white cardstock. Definitely a fan. We are going to make this Valentine's Day together. Also, what we are going to do is we are going to put a little bit of personalizations on here. Okay, I want to be able to teach you how to do personalizations with a pen because they make, I think that they just make the project. If this isn't extra enough, we're going to make it definitely much extra with adding in some pen detail. But all of this is so pretty. Cardstock, let me show you what it looks like. Here, my goodness, see, I have to manually do everything today because I don't have my cute little my Stream Deck. If anyone has any ideas of what good Stream Deck I should get, let me know. But we are creating this right here, and really the choice is your oyster here on which ones you actually want to use for cardstock. I am, however, using, oh, and I forgot to pull one out. Well, where is that? Right here. Okay. I wanted to pull this one out too, to put it right here, just in case we decided to do that. But for today's project, what you're going to need is you are going to need a marker. You don't have to have a marker, but I am going to show you how we personalize the inside of this. So you're going to need a marker. You're going to need these plastic domes right here. These ones, all the supplies that we do use for today's project is linked in the description. So if you want any of the supplies and you want to make these on hand, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I back? You let me know. Okay. Can we hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I think I'm back. Awesome. Okay, so you're going to want some mirror red glitter cardstock. If you don't want to use this right here, let me know. I had just looked up on my mixer and I was like, pause. That's weird. But okay, I don't know where we cut off. All right. But lipstick red glitter cardstock. You're going to want that, or you could do the mirror red. I think mirror red would look really good here. That would make it seem like a real gumball machine. Okay. The other thing that you can use, and I have to tell you, hold on, let me go onto the front screen. I have to tell you that my husband, he is in the garage packing cardstock orders. He did tell me that I wasn't allowed to talk about this, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I am the main boss. Okay, it's not available in the cardstock shop yet, but he is trying to get caught up on some orders, and then he did say that it is available. So just know that we are getting a brand new color of cardstock in, and it's mirror cardstock, and it's the most beautifulest light pink ever. Light pink mirror cardstock. So just to show you what it looks like up close, this right here is the mirror red glitter card, or mirror red cardstock, and then this is the light pink cardstock. Oh my gosh. So if you wanted to, you could create this invitation or this Valentine's with either of these. I think that either of these would be really good options. Hello, Jonathan. Good morning. I believe it's morning time where you're at, or is it nighttime? Is it nighttime or morning time for you? But we have 3 different options. What option do you think I should make it? I think honestly the red would be like the truest of making it look like metal, because I love things for, you know, to look like metal. But what do you think? Light pink mirror red, or lipstick red? You let me know. Then what you are going to need is you are going to need just the smallest bit of black. You could use black mirror, or you could use glitter black cardstock if you had that on hand. I chose to use black mirror because it's technically supposed, or you even could use silver here too. But I chose to do black mirror just because it is supposed to be metal, okay? Then you're gonna need some sort of pink cardstock. You don't have to have a whole big sheet. This is just a little spare for me. You're going to want to put that right here. This is your little gumball. And then I would prefer if you did, good evening, Jonathan. I would prefer if you did white plain cardstock for today's project versus the ivory. Now I did pick the ivory because I was thinking maybe it would look that good. You'll have to let me know now that you can see it in better light. Which one do you like? This one's the ivory and this one is the white plain cardstock. I personally think the white plain cardstock, I think the white plain cardstock looks a lot cleaner. For whatever reason, I love my ivory. So I just want you to know, I love my ivory, but I do think the ivory kind of gives it like a dirty look, like vintagey. And maybe that's like antiqued look, versus this one right here just looks like super crisp and looks really good. What do you think? You let me know. Okay, then for glue choices, what you are going to need is some cardstock glue and some silicone glue. Okay, this is the silicone glue I use, and I have to tell you that the glue that I'm using, this stuff right here, it's made by Super Tight, and it's like I'm a crazy girlfriend for the owner of this company. I have texted him, no kidding, like 50 times within the last year. And I have asked him, what in the world, we cannot buy this glue. Where are we buying this? Are you going out of business? Are you ever going to come out with your glue? Like, are you coming back? He's not responded to me. He's ghosted me. Crazy girlfriend just looking for really good glue. His glue, if you can find it, is really good, but I need a new glue supplier. So if you have any ideas of what good glue, because these right here are my most favorite glues ever. These 2 right here. Silicone glue I use for gluing plastic to paper or metal or anything like that. Wood, acrylic, love this glue. And then this one right here is my most favorite precision craft glue, which conveniently I did help create this product. So fun little fact, I did help create this product. But he's been sold out of this for like over 2 years, and this one has been like 6 months. So I need a new glue for both of these. So if you have any ideas of where we can go to get really good craft glue, let me know. Okay, do not be shy. Do not be shy, because I just need to figure out where to get some good glue. Now, the only thing, ivory for the vintage vibe, especially if you're going for the 50s look, that is a good, I mean, I like the ivory in a general essence, but I am not 100% in love with this right here. Now, The other thing that you are going to need for today's project is you are going to need the SVG file, and that is in my Cardstock warehouse. I've already listed on there. It's ready for purchase. So if you want to craft with me, you're more than welcome to craft with me. Or if you wanted to buy your Cardstock and then watch me how I do this, and then you can assemble it, get all your supplies and stuff like that, and then you can assemble it later. That would be so fun. I want to see your pictures of this. I personally, these are like my most favorite Valentines to give out because they are so stinking cute, and they just look absolutely amazing. So what we're going to do is we are going to head over into Cricut Design Space. So we got Cricut Design Space already pulled up, and then let's me go over here. Awesome. Okay, and I do have my laptop pulled up, so if you have any questions along the way, please let me know. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, the other thing that you are going to need, which would definitely help, is going to be a scoring stylus, because I have a line in the file that will help you line up everything, and so everything will look and turn out really good. Okay, so going over into Cricut Design Space, we are not going to crash out today. Unlike last Tuesday when we crashed out because over the offset feature, we're not going to do that today because everything's been updated and I was so confused. So we're going to come up here into New Project, and then we are going to come down here to Blank Canvas. And I just want to wet my whistle a little bit. Awesome. Then what we are going to do is we are going to come over here into Upload. And you can see it's already uploaded here for me, but just to show you how you do that is you just go into Upload. You find that SVG file, the one that I created in my Cardstock warehouse, and you just drag and drop it into the Creative Design Space. What is this? Cricut Design Space. I was trying to call it the Eufy, or what is it, Xtool Creative Space, and then Cricut Design Space all at once, but clearly I was wrong. Okay, so now that we have it uploaded into Cricut Design Space, it's going to look blurry, but that's okay. You just want to come over here and press Continue. You can rename this if you want, but I feel like I picked a really good name. I don't know. You might have to let me know if you would name it a different name, but you're just going to press Upload again. Now it is going to pop up and it's going to look like this. One thing I would love for you to know is this size right here, 5.7 inches. If it resizes to a different size for you, make sure and just do 5.7 inches, okay? You don't need to resize this. Sometimes Cricut likes to glitch out and say, like, load this in at a different size. Just at the very end of the day, make sure that this is 5.7 inches, okay? Also, it's going to look really funny, and that is okay because we are going to fix this, all right? We are just going to close down this little box right here, and we are going to work on this. Okay, for this file, what you're going to do is you're going to right click and you're going to press ungroup. Then what you're going to do is you see this right here. This has like a little grouping. If we open up the caret, you will see that there is these two things right here in this grouped box. All right. What we are going to do is we are going to take that black circle. Okay. This is where that score line comes into play. So if you do not have the scoring tool, which to be honest with you, I highly suggest you get. If you're a Cricut crafter, I suggest you get one of these. This one right here is old. I mean, it's crusty. It's been through some things. Okay, it'll cost you like $5 on the Zon. Pick yourself up one because it definitely comes in handy for Cricut crafting and for something like this. Okay, so what I want you to do with this, note, if you do not have a scoring stylus, then what you're going to want to do is delete this. But if you do have a scoring stylus, what you need to do is click on this black circle. We are going to come up here into Basic Cut, and we are going to click on it, and we are going to come down here to Score, just like that. Now what we have to do one additional step, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to come up here into this like grouped area. We are going to select both, and we are going to press Attach. Now, technically, we didn't have to do this step just yet if you wanted to use the pen tool. However, if you wanted to create the file just like I have created it here today, this one right here, the original one, let me just open this back up just so I can show you. If you wanted to create it just like this with zero personalization, at this point, all you have to do is press the cut or make or whatever what is it? Make. Okay, that's all you have to do at this point. But I want to show you how to add some sort of personalizations to this, okay? Because I do think that adding a little bit of personalizations do go a long way. It isn't hard to do, but it definitely goes, I think it just adds to the fun. You know what I mean? I'm new to watching you and I'm so confused by which machines is better for me, Cricut or Juliet, as I need easy to use and don't do well with tech issues and will be cutting mainly cardstock for cards. Barb. I would say, now, let me go into big screen, okay? Let's just time out and pause, okay? I have been a Cricut crafter and also a cardstock crafter for 13 years, okay? I would say that I'm very tech savvy. And I first launched my Etsy shop using a Cricut. I used to be able to use Cricuts, like 12 Cricuts on a wall, all at once. It was wild. It was the craziest time, okay? People would think that I probably had like a coffee IV because I was going so fast. No, it was just me, all right? If you are that type of crafter, then, which there's not too many of you, if you are that type of crafter, what I would suggest is getting a Caesar Juliet. The reason for that is because I feel like they're crafting, like the machines themselves, they cut a lot better. They cut faster. Their print and cut is more accurate. It's faster. There's a lot of things that I think are very beneficial. Like if you are a crafter that wants to make a bunch of stickers for a business, I would say lean into the Caesar machines because they really run a lot faster and they're more accurate. However, for a crafter that isn't too big into tech, doesn't really know how to make your own files, and things like that, owning a Juliet, a Caesar cutting machine, would, in my opinion, it's not possible. It's not impossible. You definitely can figure out how to use the machine. However, I feel like there is a bit of a learning curve that a lot of people, when they see the software, they go, oh, no, this is not what I want. It's a little bit like, it's just not, it's not as user-friendly on the front end. Now, coming from somebody like me who has been crafting with all the tech for 13 years, I've seen one software, I've seen them all, to be honest with you. Someone had left a comment in one of my videos recently, like, how do you learn how to use all these machines? To be honest with you, if you've seen one, you've mastered two, you've mastered three, you've seen them all at this point, okay? So if it were me, what I would tell you is if you're brand new to Cricut crafting, you don't have a whole lot of time on your hands, you're just wanting to create some really cool things and not have a whole lot of head work or mental space for it, stick with Cricut. There are some things that I'm not a fan of with Cricut, but this is coming from someone who's been a Cricut crafter for 13 years and I know what other people are offering. I feel like Cricut could do better for their crafters. I truly do think that they could do better. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be here using a Cricut craft cutting machine if I didn't think that it was a good craft cutting machine. I think it's the most user-friendly. It is going to be the most easiest to use in the cut process. We are going to do multiple sheets of cardstock cuts, and you are not going to have to play around with anything in the cut screen because it's all real automated and easy for you, unlike any other craft cutting machine on the market. I've played with every single one of them. You name it, I've played with it, and I think the cutting process to the Cricut design space is a lot easier and cleaner of a workflow than every other machine on the market. So for that, if you are brand new and you're just not wanting to have a headache and learn a deep dive into a harder software, I would just say to stick with Cricut, okay? All right, so let's go back over into Cricut design space, okay? Let's say that we want to add some personalizations, all right? I left you off here where I had talked about if you didn't want to do any personalizations, if you do not have a pen and you don't want to buy a pen, you don't want to do personalizations, then you don't want to do this step, okay? But I'm going to add in some personalizations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back a step, okay? And I'm not going to attach this just yet because I want to add in the personalization. So what we are going to do at this point is we are going to come over here into text and we are going to add in a new text box. When you click that button, a new box will pop up somewhere on your screen. just leave it for where it is. And then what you just want to do is put in whatever personalization you want. So I'm going to do maybe Happy Valentine's Day, XOXO, and I'm going to do mom. Okay. You can do whatever you want. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click out of this and I'm going to drag this over here to the right just so we can see a little bit of what we're going to do, okay? With this selected, all right, you're going to come up here into this right here. All right, says Cricut Sans. All these new cool fonts are going to pop up. Now, if you do not have Cricut access, I do not have Cricut access. All right, so we are going to need to filter out the things that cost money. Also, because we are using the pen feature, you are going to want to filter to a single line font. Otherwise, you'll get a bubble letter and it will not look cute. But just to show you the difference, okay, let me just go over here into these little lines and let's do free first. All right, we'll click out. All right, we have not chosen a single line font, correct? We only chose a free one. If I wanted to do this right here, and for whatever reason, what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to basic cut and we are going to come down here to pen. Aha, there we go. Do you see that? Okay, we are now using the pen feature, but do you see how this right here looks like a bubble letter? If it looks like a bubble letter on your screen, it's going to be a bubble letter when we go and make this, okay? So with that being said, you want to make sure that whatever you see on the screen is what we're going to like in the finished product. If you do not like this, then you're going to have to either A, find another font, or B, what we can do is we want to filter into the single line fonts because there is quite a few of them, you know, and some of these, like this one right here looks really thin. Still looks like a bubble letter, okay? So another additional filter that you want to click is going to be this one right here that says writing. Now at this point, what should happen is you should only get things that look like this, okay? Nice, single, non-bubble letters. Sometimes the thicker fonts like this one right here, sometimes you do get fonts that look a little weird. That's just the font itself, but for the most part, you should get fonts that don't look like bubbles, okay? There is going to be some funny ones in there, but that's just like any normal font. All right, so at this point, what you're going to want to do is you're going to find the font that you love the most. Now, you will see that some fonts have greater spacings, like line spacings. How to fix that is where is the, we're going to come up here. They trade everything. So they used to be up here that you would have to minimize your lines, but now what you're going to do, let's say I like this font. I'm going to choose this font. This one right here is Cricut Alphabet, okay? I'm going to choose this font, but I do not like all these line spacings that are right here. So I'm going to click this edit box, and now we have these right here for line spaces and letter spaces. Let's say your spacing of your letters is too spread out. You're going to want to increase the spacing or decrease the spacing, or you can increase the spacing. Do you see when I increase it, they go further apart, decrease it, and now they go closer together. Okay, that's actually called kerning, but I'm just going to keep it at 0. I do, however, want those letter spacings to be smaller. So I'm going to decrease it because I want my letter spacings to be smaller. And now that I have Happy Valentine's Day, this one right here, for whatever reason, the dash right here, do you see how it's further up? I think it's creating a weird space in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup instead. I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to ungroup to lines. So all 4 of my lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all going to be separated into 4 lines. Ready? 1, 2, 3, bing. And then when we click out, we can click on this. And what happened? That's interesting. Ungroup to lines. And now we have ungroup, it's ungrouped to words. No, I must have just found a Cricut glitch. So Barb, when you were talking about like glitches and tech issues, sometimes Cricut has some tech issues, okay? We did ungroup to lines and now we have ungrouped to words. That's actually what that ended up meaning. So, which is fine. I'm going to drop this down a little bit and I'm going to select these 3 and I'm going to drag them up just like that, just to hog them a little bit. Good enough. There's always a workaround to a Cricut glitch. Sometimes we have funny things that happen just like that. Ungrouped lines is actually ungrouped to words. Okay, now that we have all of this done, what we want to do is we want to put this into the middle of our gumball machine, okay? So I'm going to select all of my lettering, and I'm just going to make this smaller, and I'm going to put it into the middle of my gumball. I like the new update where we have these, they're called snapping lines. I like that we have the snapping lines in there. And the one thing about the score line that I have here is it kind of is your guide to make sure if you put this over here, like where it's not gonna get cut off, but it is over that score line, ain't nobody gonna see it. All right, so we want to make sure that it's nice and center throughout. I think that's a really good placement. Oh no, I think it needs to go up just a little bit. So I'm gonna select all of my lettering again. Come on. All right, selecting all my lettering, and I'm just gonna bump it up just a little bit more. Click out. I think I like this. This is good. What do we think? Do we love this? Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to when we pressed attached. When we came over here and we did attach to this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this and I'm gonna drag the entire thing up just a little bit. Okay, so now it looks like this. Now what I'm gonna do is press Shift on my keyboard and I'm gonna select all my other lettering right here, okay? And now what we're gonna do with the bubble gum, the back layer of your bubble gum machine, the score line, and then also all the lettering, what I'm gonna do is press attach, okay? Now the lettering and also the score line is going to be placed exactly where we have them in the cut screen, okay? Nothing's gonna get rearranged. All right, so at this point in time, what you can do is if you want to make multiples of these, I would suggest just selecting everything and copy and pasting. I prefer doing multiple copies here versus in Cricut Design Space. That's just the old way of doing things because we used to back in the day. We didn't even have this like multiple copy thing. So I always do it here because that's just what I've done for so many years. But if you don't want this, if you don't want to make multiple copies here, that's fine. What I do want you to do though is press save, because one thing that is an issue with Cricut is that it does, sometimes it tends to crash out on us. All right. The last thing we want to do is like have to go back to the very beginning. Okay. So I'm just going to put Valentine. And then I'm going to press save. So I want you to save your work. Wowza, thank you so much for stopping to answer my questions. Do you offer classes to learn the Juliet software? I do not, but I do have plenty of videos within my feed of doing the Juliet program. It's actually called Caesar Leonardo is what their program software is called. I have a lot of videos on them. I feel like they're fairly easy and they kind of get a very good bearing on like how to use the program. That would honestly be your best bet because like you've watched me create this, then what you can do is watch my Caesar Leonardo. In some videos, I use either the Juliet or the Romeo. It's the same exact machine, only larger. Really what you want to focus in on is going to be the software bar, because if the software is your breaking point, like make or break, if this software is too confusing, then you're going to be like, absolutely not. Because the machine, while the machine cuts great and wonderful, if the software holds you up, then crafting's no fun. And crafting should be fun, 1000%. Crafting should be frustration free, okay? That's what I stand on. I'm going to stand on that. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to press make. And we're going to have a piece that looks like this, where we have the full cutout of your gumball machine in the white with the score line here and also your font right in the middle if you've chosen to do that. If your screen does not look like this, if you have random words on one mat and then your cut lines or your score lines here and then you have a different mat that has the white backer, if they're all mismatched and moved around, then we missed a step. And the step is going to be attach, 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 attach. Okay, make sure that you press attach. Do you have a video for settings when cutting? I'm trying to find one for the Juliet. I do. If you look over for the Juliet, or the Leonardo is the same thing. If it doesn't matter if I use the cardstock for the Leonardo or the Juliet, I do the settings in there. I have talked about the reason why I don't really like giving out my settings for the Juliet is because there is a huge factor, which is going to be going back to Barb's original question over which one should you choose, a Caesar or a Cricut. The reason for me really being hesitant on what settings to use is going to be the ability to adjust the depth of your blade. There's a video I talk all about that. So I would strongly suggest you watch that because I go into depth of why my settings may not be the perfect settings for you, just because we have the ability to change the depth of our blade with the Caesar. I'm a passionate French designer. I don't understand English, but I'm trying to follow your live stream anyways. Oh my goodness. Well, welcome. I wish that we could dub these things like in real time. That would be great. Okay, so we have one mat here. We have a little piece of black cardstock that is going to be used. And then we have some red. No one's actually told me, am I going to be using mirror red, lipstick glitter, or the brand new light pink mirrored? Which one do you want me to use? I have several acrylics and Locklit cutting machine. I had that Locklit cutting machine. It was all right. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite. And then we are going to need a little bit of bubble gum. Now, if you wanted to make multiple copies of these, you are so cute, Ashley. Thank you. If you wanted to make multiple copies of these, you could have done them in the design process, which is something that I do because that's just like old school Cricut crafting, because we didn't have this project copies thing back in the day. You can come up here and press 1, 2, let's just say you were going to do 4 and press apply. You want to make sure that that you press apply so we get here. Now, here is the really cool part, okay? Because for whatever reason, Cricut says that we only can have 3 of these on a page, and we get this like a bunch of wasted material. I want you to know, okay? I own a cardstock company. I would strongly encourage you to buy my cardstock because I'm not biased. It's in my reviews. I know. My cardstock is the best cardstock possible. However, what I do not want you to use is wasted space, okay? This right here is wasted space. What I want you to do is conserve on material. Yes, I want you to buy my cardstock, but yes, I also want you to conserve on material, okay? So I want you to come over here. If you're making 4, I want you to come over here and select this one. Let's just move it down here, because then when we move it up into the mat 1, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? We are going to come over here into these 3 dots. I have been binge watching your videos and appreciate your comments on pros and cons and honesty. I guess if it's attached to a computer, it can glitch. It absolutely, even if it's not attached to a computer, it still can glitch. I glitch. Like my brain even glitches sometimes. If you watched the video where I did the huge Valentine's Day, my brain even glitched because I had not 1 but 2 mess ups. Okay, so you're going to do these 3 dots right here, and you're going to press Move Object, and we are going to come up here into Mat 1 and press Confirm. And conveniently, look at this. We now have 4. So while originally the Cricut was like, yo, crafter, you're going to not use only 1 but 2 white sheets of cardstock, Ashley Falco told you, no, you actually only need 1. And maybe, just maybe, we probably could fit more on this. We can, because we're going to rotate this and we're going to scoot this over and we're going to bring this up. And I bet you we could fit 1 more in here. Maybe we could even fit 3 if we really tried. I love playing Tetris with Cricut. I do. I'm not a good Tetris player in general because like space to me, like actual space, 3D space is like not. I run into walls all the time, but doing space saving things like this to like save on material is my jam, okay? So if you're creating 5, then I want you to make sure that you're only using 1 sheet of white cardstock. Conserve on material. Buy my cardstock, but don't like waste that. You know what I mean? We all work hard for our money, okay? I want to make sure that we do not waste on material. I'm only going to cut 1 today because I already have 3. So I am just going to undo everything I did, and we're only going to create 1. So you want to make sure that your Cricut machine is turned on and connected. Mine is. Then what you're going to do is press continue. And at this point, you are going to press medium cardstock. And then two things that need to happen. First, you're going to pay attention to your Cricut design space because it will say first what we have to do is load in clamp A, the pen. So we're going to do the pen first. Also, we need to come over here. If you are not using the scoring wheel, I do not have the scoring wheel, but I have heard from other crafting friends, do not invest in the scoring wheel because it's junk. So I just have the scoring tool. It does just fine and is super cheap. We are just going to press edit tools and we are going to do the scoring stylus. Now, if you have the wheel, keep it. Keep that, okay? But I have only the scoring stylus. I'm going to press apply. But first thing what we have to do is we have to take out the scoring stylus and we are going to add in the pen. Now, I do not have the ability to show you my Cricut cutting today because my Stream Deck is broken. And so something had to give and it was one less camera that gived today. So all you're going to do at this point is we are going to load in our mat 1. So you could easily fit 6 of them in there. You probably could, honestly. If you could fit 6 on a sheet, fit 6 on a sheet. Conserve on material, okay? You're going to take your white sheet of cardstock and you're going to put it into the top left portion of your Cricut mat. Now, I love Cricut crafting with 2 mats, not 1 but 2. We're going to go back to like when I was like running 12 at one time. I love to have busy hands, all right? So I feel like when we get started in Cricut crafting and you're very new and very beginning, maybe running 2 is going to be too fast. Like you're going to be like, so overwhelmed. That's fine. Just use 1. Don't overwhelm yourself, okay? But I am going to load in mat 1, which is the white plain cardstock. I'm going to load that into my Cricut. With my second mat though, I'm going to load in my second color, which is going to be the black mirror cardstock. I just have a small little thing, so I'm just going to put that into my mat 2, okay? And I'm going to use a brayer for this because both my mats aren't very sticky, and having a brayer definitely helps get it, stuck on your mat, okay? We are ready to go. I'm going to press the play button on my Cricut. First, what it's going to do is it's going to do the pen feature, okay? So we're going to let that do its thing. We're going to take a wet whistle break. Oh, what happened? Did you? Nope. Right now? It just did. Hold on. Let's just exit out. Look what's on my thing. Because it told me coming up. Oh my gosh. Did I not pay attention to that? I swear, didn't it say do the pen first and then did it not say? Please tell me that I'm not losing it. I am 100% certain it said pen first and then the scoring stylist. There's no way that I messed that up. Well, I'm going to have to redo this. So I'm just going to take this off and I'm going to roll it over here. And I'm going to add in the other corner. And I am going to now take out my pen and I'm going to put in my scoring stylus because now it says to do the scoring stylus first. That is so annoying. Okay, we're going to load that into the Cricut and we are going to start this process over again. Cricut did me dirty. And this is not very sticky at all because my piece of paper already just flew out of it. All right. Pen first. It did say pen first. Well, apparently not. Apparently we were supposed to do the scoring stylus first. So now I have the scoring stylus in. And does it do the circle first? Okay, it did do the circle first. So we're on the right path, but I swear to you, I'm going to re-watch the feed later to verify that I'm not losing it. Okay, now that the circle is done scoring, I'm going to take the scoring tool out. I'm just going to set it to the side. I'm going to put the pen back in, lock it into place, and press play. Now it's going to do the pen feature, okay? We are on the right path. It's moving. It's going, all right? Now all we're going to do is we're going to wait for this to get done penning and cutting. All right. The reason why I have a second machine or a second mat is because we're already ready to go to the next mat. We're not going to have to pull this out, and the workflow is just easier and goes quicker. I'm not patient. So after you change from the scoring wheel, it changed what you were using first. Aha! That makes a bunch of sense. I was going too fast. If my husband was in here, he would say, "Slow down, Ashley. You're going too fast." He says that to me practically, I know, at least one time a day, at least. Guaranteed, probably more than that. So I'm sure he's now in the living room. I'm sure he can hear me. And he'll be like, "Yep, I do say that to her all the time." But, oh well, I saw what I saw. All right, really, there's no other prep work that we have to do besides wait for this Cricut to get done cricketing. Because the pen does take the longest time, but everything else like the cutting won't take that long. It's the pen that takes the longest. But now we're done. The one thing that you do have to remember with this project, when you're using a pen, is you want to make sure when you're done using the pen that you take the pen off and put the cap back on, because it will dry out. Ask me how I know. So I went through this entire spiel about saving money and making sure that we're using all of our materials. Make sure and put your cap on your pen, because it will dry out. It has happened to me. Okay, so we are going to come over here into medium cardstock again, and we are just going to cut everything. Someone in the cardstock shop left me a DM today asking me if they can cut the mirror cardstocks with the fine point blade on the Cricut, which I was like, wow, this is great, because I'm actually going to be using it today. So we're going to use black mirror cardstock, and I'm going to be using the fine point blade for that. I've decided, because nobody's told me which one they would prefer, whether it be lipstick red, like the new light pink, or the mirror red cardstock. No one's told me what they would prefer. I'm going to do the lipstick or the red mirror cardstock, just because I want to show you the difference between using glitter cardstock and mirror cardstock. So I'm going to load in the red one now, because we are now on mat 3. Mat 3 is red cardstock, so we're going to use some red cardstock. You want to click on medium cardstock. If you're tired of like answering this, like which one material, you can click this, remember my material settings, and you won't have to click it again. Okay, we're going to load that into the machine, and we are going to take out the little black piece. Don't lose that black piece, because it's kind of important in my opinion. And then what we're going to need is a pressing play on the machine, and then we're going to get just a little piece of bubblegum pink. Okay, top left corner. Top left corner. Very observant. Noted to watch for that. Yes, Barb. That is like... I clearly was going too fast and didn't see that, but that was actually a very good observation. Okay, we are done with that. Notice how the cutting process goes a lot quicker. It's the pen that takes the longest, okay? Loading in. The one thing I don't like about the new machines, and we've talked about this in other lives, is like, why does it have to keep measuring my dang mat? I'm using the same mat. Just quit measuring it. It's time waster. Okay, press play. It's so frustrating not understanding what you're saying, Ashley, but it's okay. I'm watching you create. I'm sorry. I don't have it. I don't have an answer for how I can help. I don't know if they could dub it. Like, I don't know if that's a setting that I can improve on or what. I was so engaged in watching the instructions that I didn't participate in the color choice. Sorry. No, it's totally okay. You're fine. I am just going to do the red mirror just so I can show you. And then if someone ever asks me again, like, can you do the fine point blade with the Cricut? I can link them back to this and be like, you know what? Absolutely. And I even have a really good tutorial that you can watch that would help show off the cardstock. Okay, so we are done. with the cutting process. You're going to have things that look like this, okay? Now, the reason why I wanted you to do that little circle, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but you're going to see this like little line that's right there, right? It's a score line. Kind of, maybe the sun will pick it up, the shadow. Oh, right there. That little line that's right there at the bottom, it goes around the entire thing. But if we put this like this, you're going to be able, when we glue this, you're going to be able to line up your dome to that score line, and it's going to be perfectly centered. However, what we need to do first, because the way that I've designed this cardstock project is you glue this down first, and then you glue the rest of it on top of this lip, okay? Because there's a lip right here, I've created this project before, not accounting for this lip. The project turned out fine, but I felt like we could do better, or I could do better. How I could do better is just making sure that when we build our file, we build our file to really hug the dome, because this right here is technically not the actual gumball machine. It's this that's the gumball machine. This right here is just the leftover. So I wanted you to be able to have a project that looked 100% professional. And this dome, I'm not going to use this dome because for whatever reason, there's like some weird cloudiness right here. Ugh. Okay, so first things first, yay for our personalization. Look at that. Ooh, it looks so good. Okay, next thing what we're going to do is we are going to glue our dome. Now, I was snowed in. And technically I wasn't snowed in. What happened is I do not drive in inclement weather. We did get a ton of snow. Myrtle Beach does not have any type of snow plows or anything like that. So we did get a ton of snow, and it was just, you know, the news guys told me to stay off the road, so I stayed off the road. My plan for yesterday and also Sunday was to go out and get myself some candy because we don't have any here. And I have used what we did have here. This was leftover Halloween candy out of my son's dresser drawer. We're not eating this. But I really wanted some candy, some individually wrapped candy. And then the snow and the ice happened and I was not leaving. So you're going to have to pretend and just know that they look good. When we do commit to getting some candy, okay? So, and it's possible. Just know it is possible to do this project, but you are going to have to stay with me on this, okay? What you want to do is with your silicone glue. Silicone glue, I think, is going to be your best friend in this project. Remember I did tell you, my guy, I don't know what's going on with him. Okay, so if you have a different silicone brand of glue that you love using, I am desperate to find a new glue company. Okay, so if you have another glue that's a silicone glue that you love, put that in the chat. If you don't want to put it in the chat, then just send me an email because I am in desperate need of a new glue company. Cardstock glue and also silicone glue, okay? So while I am using this one, if you have a different silicone glue that you love or know of, you're going to want to grab that. And all you're going to want to do, you don't want to do a whole lot of glue. Okay, a little bit goes a long way. We don't want glue splashing everywhere. These are going to be professionally looking projects, not that I had my 2-year-old do it, okay? I don't have a 2-year-old here. I have a 13-year-old. But you get what I'm saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do a little bit of glue around the rim right here. Sorry, giving you my middle finger. But this rim right here, we are just going to add a little bit of glue to it, okay? Not a whole lot. This glue, the reason why I love this glue is because it dries crystal clear. So even if you were to go a little bit crazy on the glue, it would still dry crystal clear and then also rub off as it's drying, which is great. But he's no longer selling it, so poop on him. Okay, we have a little bit of glue. I'm kind of dotting off the extras. Boop, bloop, bloop. Just like that. And then there was a little string, so I'm going to take that off. Okay, at this point in time, if you had candy, hold on. If you had candy, you would want to put the candy in here. So I'm just going to put this Tootsie Roll thing that I have left over because it's all I got. Okay. And then what you're going to do, the easiest way to do this is do this upside down. Okay. So I have a light that's right here and I'm just going to put it towards the light and I'm going to look for my, my score line. Okay. We're just going to add in the dome to the score line. I know that this looks silly, but trust me, it's a lot easier than trying to go the other way and have your candy fall everywhere, okay? And once you're done, you can roll this over. And then I am not perfect on my alignment here, so you can tell that I'm not perfect. Maybe you can't tell. I can tell. I can see it with my own eyes that my line, my dome is not matching up with mine. So all I'm going to do is slide this over, making sure that it's centered onto my score line. Okay, there we go. Now we're centered, okay? If you have leftover glue in places, like there's some glue that's right here, this actually would be covered with the mirror cardstock, but I'm just gonna rub this off just like that. Love making things look handmade rather than homemade. Yes! Jonathan, I'm gonna use that phrase moving forward. I love making things look handmade rather than homemade because there is a difference. Like there truly is a difference. Okay, going back to this, now that we've wiped off any glue, if you really, truly, I have created this project to where the glue up here and the glue down here, if you miss the glue and there's extra glue down here, that's okay. You're really concerned about the glue that's going to be on these sides right here because that's where people are going to be able to see like the glue, the leftover glue, okay? Making sure it's nice and centered. Awesome. All right, now what you're gonna do is taking some cardstock glue. Again, just like with the silicone glue, if you got a good idea, some intel about a better glue company, let me know, okay? Precision Craft Glue, love this glue. I helped create this glue. The viscosity of this glue is the thickness that I love. It's just, I love this glue. Does he sell this glue? No, he doesn't. Love the fact that there is a declogging cap here in this, so it never is clogged, and I love the thickness of this glue. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bottom of my cardstock, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. The thickness of this glue, the strength of this glue, I customize this glue to my absolute liking. And because I've been a cardstock crafter for 13 years and own a cardstock company, I had to make sure that the cardstock glue I was using was the best of the best. This is the best, and he's not selling it, so that's unfortunate. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hug this up to the base of my dome, okay? There is a lip. There is a difference between lip and base, okay? You can end it here if you want, but I just think, like Jonathan said, it will end up looking homemade versus handmade, okay? So you can end it here or you can end it here. I do think that there is a little bit of a difference for the final product. So we're gonna hug, and then we're gonna set it down. Then what you can do is oop, almost lost my little black thing. We're gonna put a little bit of glue on the black, just a dab. A dab will do ya. My daughter's kindergarten teacher said that. A dab will do ya, and I've been using it ever since. My daughter's 20 now, okay? A little bit of glue on the back of a gumball machine. You shouldn't need that much glue. You only got one box. And then we are going to put that in there. Look at that. Awesome. Going to the front. See how easy this project assembled? And I got a little bit of silicone glue on my dome, so I'm just going to scratch that off a little bit. Okay. We're going to add a little bit of glue to the back of the topper and then roll this over, and we're going to put that onto the very top. Again, we are going to hug the base of the dome, not the flap, okay? Two different projects. It will end up looking two different ways, okay? And now, my friends, we are done. Look at that. And I have to know, which one is your favorite? Okay. Which one is your favorite? We got red lipstick cardstock. This is lipstick red glitter cardstock. Then we have red mirror cardstock. I feel like both of them, like there is not a bad either. I feel like this mirror cardstock makes it look the realest. Like if we were going to do like an apples to apples of like what a real gumball machine looks like versus, you know, like a cardstock one. I love making things look real. Okay. So I think that this one is like the best looking, but this one isn't bad either. I use pin flare glue in the Post-its. It's good. Love it with the mirror cardstock. Yes, the mirror cardstock is so good. Now imagine this pink, that pink mirror cardstock. We could even make it with a pink. I have seen some pink bubblegum machines. That would be a good one too, I feel like. I use pin flare glue. Not sure if they export to the US. I'm gonna look for it. Let me see. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull it up in Amazon to see if I can order it. Pin flare glue. Boop. Oh, apparently they got a bunch of different glues. No, pin flare is not popping up for me. So the results are magnificent. It absolutely is. It's such a quick and easy project to assemble. Now the setup process did take a little bit, you know, because I had to walk you through different customizations that you could do, different things, because not everyone could make the same exact project look. I mean, you get one SVG file, you can make this a bunch of different ways. You can also utilize this for a bunch of different things. I have another SVG file that's in my shop that is of something similar to this, but we use it in a card form with a smaller dome. You can make this into a card, a greeting card if you wanted. So lots of possibilities with SVG files, lots of different customizations. Not everyone is going to end up with the same type of project at the end of the day. Pin Flare also has their own website too. Okay, I am going to look at their website because on Amazon, they don't have it on Amazon. The only thing that pops up is Aleene's, which they do not have a cardstock glue. And then Barely Arts is a cardstock glue company, but I don't really care for their glue. It's very watery and dries, kind of glossy. And I don't think that that's a good finished product at the end of the day. All right. Did everyone have so much fun with today's project? I did. Like I said, it's one of my most favorite projects to make because I think these ones right here, like you can get the store-bought if you have little kids and you're doing, you know, like classroom Valentine's Day or even gift giving. I have made quite a few Valentine's Day for my 3 little kiddos, and they're 13, 20, 2 20-year-olds and a 13-year-old. They're getting cute little Valentine's Day stuff too, and it's all handmade, not homemade. Is that what it is? I need to figure out what did Jonathan say? I need to get used to this. He says, I love making things look handmade rather than homemade. I've done a bunch of handmade things for them that don't look homemade. Amazon in the UK has pin flare, but sometimes things you get in USA, we cannot get in the US. Yes, this is true. A lot like, I have this like matte re-sticking spray. Hold on. So I use this basting spray to re-stick my Cricut mats that in the UK, you cannot get that. Your restrictions on selling things is like a lot stricter in the US or it's a lot stricter over there than the US, which, you know, probably comes with, I would probably be like, that's wonderful. I wish we had more restrictions over here because you can sell anything to anyone over here in the United States. It's terrible. All right, y'all, I sure hope that you had so much fun with me today. And next week, we are going to be doing something 100% free. So I'm not going to tell you at the beginning of this that you're going to have to buy an SVG file from me on Cricut or on my website. We are going to create something free, all within Cricut Design Space. So Barb, if you're still here and you're wanting to learn how to just create free things within Cricut, I'm going to show you how to do some really cool stuff within Cricut for free. And hopefully at that point, I will have a brand new Stream Deck because mine's broken, or at least it just decided it didn't want to work today. So then I can actually have another camera here to show you how to like insert inside the Cricut and back out the Cricut. But yeah, that is next Tuesday, same time, same place. We're going to be here together. That is next Tuesday, but I sure hope you had a ton of fun with me today.